if I actually work on this, it doesn't have to be this way. You gotta sleep well. You have to avoid your triggers so that you can have fun. Magnesium makes you feel so delicious. So I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's 1 year ago. Wah, wah. Wah to Hashimoto's, not the diagnosis. About a year ago, after the diagnosis, I was confused, I was angry, I was sad, and I didn't know what to do. I looked on YouTube and all I really found were a lot of doctors saying all these like technical, smarticle, particle words that I really didn't understand. But now, 1 year later, I've come to see the diagnosis as a blessing, and I've learned a ton of things. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my journey, along with the most elite, chef's kiss, top of the line Hashimoto's resources that I've been able to find, as well as some best practices that have helped make my life so much more sweeter. And I'm making this video in hopes that it helps somebody else out there. So first, what the heck is Hashimoto's? When I first told my boo thing, he was like, is that a Japanese sushi restaurant? You trying to go eat right now or something? And I was like, no, listen to me, I'm sick. We don't say I'm sick anymore, we say I'm healing. According to Medline Plus, a government website, Hashimoto's is a condition that affects the thyroid. The thyroid makes hormones that do a bunch of critical body functions. For example, it influences the growth and development, body temperature, heart rate, menstrual cycles, and weight. Hashimoto's disease is a form of chronic inflammation that can damage the thyroid and reduce its ability to produce hormones. Sounds evil, doesn't it? So Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease. So that's basically when your body starts attacking itself. Traitor. So essentially there's like these antibodies that start attacking your thyroid. So your thyroid is super important because it does all these like hormonal functions, including like mood, your ability to stay warm, temperature regulation, like reproduction, hormones, all that kind of stuff. So if it starts to get attacked, thus impacting your ability to do the things that your body's supposed to do. Apparently, it causes chronic inflammation in your body, affects about 5 out of 100 Americans. And I just watched a talk on a pharmacist talking about how a lot of people who have Hashimoto's are actually first misdiagnosed for mood disorders like anxiety, depression, and on all that kind of stuff. And I actually know a couple people with Hashimoto's who are on like their Hashimoto's meds, some kind of like anti-anxiety or like depression medicine, and then like a birth control to like regulate their cycle. I was like, if I just help my thyroid and support it with nutrition and supplements and lifestyle, then these other symptoms that I'm feeling should go away. So before the diagnosis, I was always kind of considered like a sensitive child in person, kind of like a delicate princess. But I would say a year before the actual diagnosis is when my symptoms were at an all-time trash level. I was losing my hair. I'd have like chunks of hair in the shower after I finished washing it. I was about 15 pounds heavier than I am today, and I just had like this insatiable, like I always wanted to snack and I wasn't able to control it. My moods and emotions were pretty fragile. I would kind of get like upset over things more easier than I do today. I was tired, very sluggish, and had low energy. I was always freezing cold, and I didn't realize this until afterwards, but makeup would irritate me so bad. Like I just thought, oh, I don't like wearing makeup. I'm not a makeup girl. But now that I know about all the toxins in the makeup, it was causing all this inflammation in my body, making me feel like poo-poo. Honestly, one of the biggest signs showed in my skin, and it is the one sign that got me to actually pay attention, was cystic acne. I can feel crappy, it's all good, but can I be ugly? No. And so at the time I had this painful, like these thick cystic pimple like nodules that started showing up underneath my skin on my cheeks. I'd always had relatively clear skin up until then, but these cystic pimples hurt so bad, and they would be on my skin for like 3 months or 4 months, and you couldn't pop them. They wouldn't go away. As soon as one started to go down, I would wake up and have another one. It hurt when I would sleep on my pillow. I worked with nutritionists. I tried to heal my gut. I took supplements, all these different things, and nothing helped until my dear mother found Dr. Rajshri here on YouTube. When I tell you that Dr. Rajshri really helped improve my life with all of her knowledge and her skills and medical training and tests and love and care, I am so blessed that my mom came across her videos because she was then able to refer me to her. So I went to Dr. Rajshri. She's an amazing, phenomenal doctor who believes in naturally treating the patient before using like prescriptions and all that kind of stuff. And she also believes in optimal nutrition. And what she does is do some really extensive like blood tests, stool tests, allergy tests, environmental toxin like allergy tests as well, and looks at all of your stuff holistically, and then she'll treat it with like vitamins and supplements and like herbs and lifestyle changes and books and all that kind of stuff. If it doesn't clear up, then that's when you start using like medication. So I started going to Dr. Rajshri and got the results from my blood test, and I remember her coming in and telling me, okay, Becca, like you have great levels of this and great levels of that, but we are concerned with a few things. You came up positive for a Hashimoto's. And when I heard that, my heart kind of sunk because I knew somebody that had Hashimoto's. I was like, no, I was like, is that the life that I have to live? So I expressed this to her, and she's like, well, the good thing is that there's a lot of ways that you can work on this nutritionally. And she gave me some resources. She had just filmed a video on Hashimoto's. I'll link it down below because she's here on YouTube. She's an awesome YouTube doctor. And then she also gave me a book. And so after that, I remember going and calling my family, my partner, and letting them know. And they were like, oh no, like what is that? And they were kind of sad, didn't really know what it was. And it just felt so foreign and weird. Then I started reading more of the stuff, and I was like, whoa, like my issues are bigger than just acne and trying to look cute and have clear glowy skin, because I'm trying to be a MILF one day. It's really my biggest goal at the moment. And at the time, that's like all that was on my mind was being a MILF. So I was like, I gotta have clear skin because MILFs have clear skin. But once I actually read all the stuff about it, it's like moods, really difficult periods, anxiety, depression, low energy, all these things that I kind of thought were just part of my life and part of me. Realizing, hey, if I actually work on this, it doesn't have to be this way. And it was kind of fun because I was able to like gamify it and make it like a challenge, but at the same time was also extremely overwhelming. Later, I'm gonna share the things that you should do and shouldn't do with Hashimoto's, but what I will say right now is when I first learned it for myself, I got really sad and I felt like, dang, like I really gotta change my eating habits, my beauty products, my lifestyle, everything. I went through a mourning period of what I felt like my old life was. And it's super important that I share this because someone right now, you may be feeling the same exact way if you just got diagnosed, or if you've been living like this for a while, or if somebody you love has been diagnosed. And so this next part of the video, I'm gonna be sharing the mindset shift that helped me really kind of get into a groove. So I'm making this video for you as much as I'm making it for me, because sometimes I just gotta be like, girl, like slap myself, girl, did you take your vitamins today? Girl, you need to stay home. Becca, don't be staying up late again. We gotta get to sleep, okay? Checking labels, does this have dairy, wheat, gluten, soy in it? So now I'm sharing the mindset shift that I had to go through. So like I said, I mourned my old life because I am someone who is full throttle. Like I go hard. I was like a self-diagnosed like type A like personality. Like I get things done. I would volunteer for everything. I like went to this super prestigious competitive school, worked in a very competitive industry in entertainment at ABC News and Good Morning America with a 24-hour news cycle. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I was like jumping out of airplanes. I was traveling around the world, going down like water slides made of rocks and motorcycling across like these dangerous rickety bridges. Eating the most bomb street food, trying all the different restaurants and all the different places that I visited. I'd say yes to every single opportunity, and I had just come off of my Yes Girl summer, which I'll tell you guys about when we get to know each other more. I learned and realized after some kind of like really stressful thing, like jumping out of an airplane, which was so much fun, but after something stressful like that, I would have a crash. And I would feel like emotional and like tired and kind of grumpy. And same thing, like if I had gone a week without sleep because we were traveling across the country or hopping on flights, or I was flying to go see clients. Like one time I did like a 4-city tour to meet all of my clients within the span of a week, changing time zones, eating airplane food, and not really sleeping. And I thought that was okay. I thought that was cool. But at the end of it, I just had a massive crash. I didn't realize that my lifestyle was also affecting me. And my energy levels were probably even lower than the average person because of the Hashimoto's. Notice I don't say my Hashimoto's, I say the Hashimoto's. It's something I have, it's not something that I am. So the biggest mindset shift here, because I still like to do fun things, is okay, Becca, if you want to go hard this weekend, then that means the days leading up to it, you gotta take your vitamins, you gotta sleep well, you have to avoid your triggers so that you can have fun. And then when you are having fun, you have boundaries. Like by 10 or 11 p.m., like go home and get your good night's rest. Go out to eat with your friends, but stay away from like gluten, wheat, dairy, soy, or eat your own food before you go hang out with them. So making a mindset of learning how to replenish my body so I could still go and do these fun things. The second mindset shift is starting to romanticize being healthy and having to live a healthier lifestyle. Because like I said, back then I was obsessed with being a MILF. And so I was like, okay, my body's like making me age gracefully, or else we're gonna come for you, we're gonna get you. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna romanticize this like wellness girly aesthetic, live healthier and be happier. Someone online who helped with the romanticizing of wellness girly aesthetic is I'm Not Mike Tyson on TikTok. She basically has this like elaborate nighttime routine, and she uses her body oil, it's like called Thai Balm, and moisturizes her skin with it, but looks so good doing it and makes it look so fun to have like a full-on like hour wind down routine, and shows like the beauty in taking care of your body and nurturing yourself. So that's something that really helped me. Another mindset shift is seeing myself as the canary in the coal mine. So if you know that saying, it's basically like back in the day, I guess like they would bring canaries into the coal mine when they were like mining coal. And I'm thinking like, hi ho, bum 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 bum. So they would bring canaries into the coal mine. The canary would be singing, but then whenever the oxygen level started to go down to like a dangerous level, the canary would stop singing because it was probably dying. And so the miners would know, okay, we gotta get out or else, you know, they could suffocate. So the canary is like a warning signal, a warning sign. So when I'm with like my friends or my partner or my family, I consider myself like the canary. For example, we're looking for places to stay in Bali. I could walk into a place and instantly feel like, ugh, like run down and kind of tired and irritated. And then that's how we would know like, okay, there's probably mold here, because I would feel it instantly. And same thing, if I eat something, I can eat chicken and I can tell if this is like pasture raised, like organic chicken, or if it's like conventionally farmed chicken here in the States. So in a way, it's kind of like a superpower. I try not to be too jealous. Honestly, the time that I felt the best was my time living in Bali. I think it's because of the culture of health and wellness that they have there, and everything is like pretty clean, and I'm guessing they don't have the same kind of toxins in the environment that they do here in the States. Like in the States, like there's like stuff in the paint, there's stuff in the furniture, there's like fire retardants, there's like stuff in the air, there's like pesticides and stuff in our meat and our foods and like conventionally packaged like foods. And I'm like tired even saying it, wow. But at least when I was over there, I felt the least irritated and the most comfortable. Should I go back? Yeah. Next phase, diet. I learned all about this Hashimoto's diet from Dr. Rajstri's video and this book called The Hashimoto's Protocol by Isabella Wentz. She is like my favorite Hashimoto's teacher, influencer, pharmacist. So for diet, you're basically supposed to avoid the main allergen triggers. So we're talking wheat, gluten, dairy, and soy. Isabella Wentz has like all these statistics on her Instagram page, but basically like a huge percentage of people who they studied, when they took out those allergens, especially gluten and soy, I think, that they saw like some major improvements in their symptoms. And so I went like on a full 2-week cleanse, getting rid of all those things. For now, on the most part, my daily diet, I really don't eat them unless for some reason I'm desperate. Like the other day we went to this bomb like Chinese restaurant and they had these hand pulled, like hand cut noodles that were super thick. Oh, so good. But there was soy in the broth, and then the noodles were wheat. And the next day, did I have a little meltdown? Maybe. But what I will say is when I am for the most part eating pretty clean, when I do splurge, it's not as bad. Versus if I'm always splurging and I'm always having like this low grade like inflammation, I don't feel good. But if I'm eating clean, I can like go to Disneyland and have a churro, or go to Costco and get a Costco hot dog every once in a while and still enjoy those things. But for the most part, you want to cut out the allergens, and then you want to add in basically clean stuff. So we're talking like organic fruit and vegetables, and then like your pasture raised meats. If you're getting rid of toxins at a slower rate, then ideally you want to take on toxins at a slower rate. So if you're eating like organic, then you're not taking in the same amount of pesticides than if you were eating non-organic blueberries. And then if you're eating fruits and veg and getting a lot of fiber, then you are making it easier for your body to go poo-poos and get rid of all the icky toxic buildup in your body. The next thing with diet is balancing your blood sugar. So basically with Hashimoto's, you don't want to do any of those like super like stressful things that may be good for other people but not good if you have a compromised like system, like fasting. That could be more stressful on your body and cause more inflammation than if you weren't. I try to always eat breakfast, even if I'm not hungry in the morning, if I know we're gonna have a long day out, and that my meals are as balanced as possible. And when I say balanced, it's like I'm working in line with my blood sugar. So I don't want to have this massive insulin spike. So if I eat like a croissant for breakfast, that's like sugar and carbs. So my insulin and my inflammation is going to shoot through the roof. Versus if you have a carb, but you pair it with a protein and a fat. And I eat paleo for the most part, but sometimes I'm a little more hungry. I'm trying to build a booty over here and get some juicy cakes for summertime. So I'm trying to eat more. So for breakfast, I will have oatmeal. But instead of just straight oatmeal, because if it's oatmeal by itself, it's gonna boost your blood sugar. I'll always add a scoop of protein for the protein and probably some coconut milk for the fat. And you mix it up. And I also add flax seeds because flax seeds have a lot of omegas and they help your bowels. And then I also add blueberries or some kind of like low sugar fruit on top of that for the fiber and the antioxidants. That's how you take your oatmeal from meh mediocre to bomb.com. The next thing for diet is what I call my vitamin salad. This was the hardest part to adjust to when I started making changes, but I needed to boost my nutrients because along with Hashimoto's, I also had some like vitamin deficiencies. But basically, I have a set of morning vitamins, and it's like an old person. You know, old people always have like their vitamin cases. So like, I don't go anywhere without these bad boys. I got this in an Ulta, so it's kind of cute. Basically have like a set of my morning vitamins, which is like a probiotic and some other things. My lunchtime vitamins, where are they? My lunchtime vitamins, and then that's basically like fish oil, like B complex, iron, zinc, a multivitamin, some other things I don't really remember all of them off the top of my head, but one of the things I do remember that's good for Hashimoto's is selenium. And then my nighttime vitamins, my favorite vitamins that I take at night, I take a magnesium. Magnesium makes you feel so delicious. Magnesium is just like relaxes you. Apparently a lot of people are deficient in magnesium, so it doesn't really hurt. It usually just helps you sleep good, helps your bowel movements. You pair it with calcium and it helps them absorb each other. And then I have a motility activator, so it just basically helps like keep me regular. And when you're regular, girl, your skin will be glowing. See, this is what I mean by romanticizing. When I first had to start my vitamin salad regimen, I was so sad and it would get stuck in my throat and I'd be like, I can't, I hate it, I would cry. But now I'm like, when I take it, I'm like, thank you for this vitamin salad. Pop it back and let's feel the glow coming on. This is my electrolytes. It really helps if you're feeling run down, especially if you exercise, but you don't have to be exercising to drink it. It's like Gatorade without all the sugar. Hello, guys. There's 3 major factors in lifestyle. Avoid stressors, detox daily, avoid environmental toxins. So the first one, avoiding stressors, that could look like choosing a more gentle exercise, which in general is good for women during certain times of the month. So for me, at the time, I loved running long distance, and I was running like miles. Like we're talking like 10 miles, 13 miles, doing half marathons, and I would like burn out and be all moody and stuff and not think that's just my personality. When really it was the Hashimoto's. I started being gentler on my body, so I started weightlifting maybe 3 times a week. I started doing yoga, started going for walks, and now I've actually gotten really into rock climbing. And these are all things that still sculpt your body, make you look good, you know, but it's a lot more gentle on your body as a whole. Also, for limiting stressors, mental health plays a huge part. Some people end up getting Hashimoto's because they went through some kind of like traumatic or really stressful event in life. So these are just normal like life things, like going through a breakup or a death, or moving, or changing schools, changing jobs. And it could be good things like getting married, having a child, going through pregnancy, stuff like that. One thing I realized, and I'm actually very grateful and thankful and blessed for this, but it forced me to have to reevaluate my mental health practices. So what I ended up doing was starting to talk to a mental health professional, starting to talk to a therapist like once a month or so to really just help work through and help teach me skills on how to just live life. Another one is protecting your peace. And I feel like on social media, I always hear people saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut all these people out of my life to protect my peace and da 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 da. I don't feel like I have like toxic friends, but for me, one thing that helped me a lot was creating boundaries with myself. I did a whole video on boundaries, which we can link down below or link up in the cards. Having a boundary with yourself, if for example, like say your boss will call you after hours and ask you to do a bunch of extra work, even though you're not on the clock anymore and you've been saying yes, so it's stressing you out. Having that boundary is saying, okay, I don't do work after hours. And so you either say no and you explain why, or you hold him accountable as to why he's asking you these questions, or you could just ignore him and then get back to him during work hours. Another way in creating a boundary with yourself is you may have like negative self-talk. Every time you look in the mirror, you say something bad about yourself or you notice the bad things about your home. When instead, if you go and you see all the positive things around you or the positive things that your body is doing for you and you don't beat yourself up, you become your biggest fan, then your mental health will start to flourish. So for me, personal boundaries really came into play. Another thing for me was having to say no. So one thing that was really hard for me that I had to say no to recently is a really fun trip to Japan. And I really wanted to go. I was ready to buy the ticket and everything. Last minute, I was like, you know what? I don't feel 100%. I don't feel completely in my spirit. I think it's going to drain my energy even more than it's going to replenish me. And I knew for a fact I was gonna have fun because the group of people that are going are so much fun. But I was like, man, I think I'm gonna have to pass. And for me, that felt like real maturity because usually I'd be like, never say no to travel. That was one of my like ethical rules for myself. But now I'm like, okay, no, what's gonna protect my nervous system and my body and my thyroid right here? And then detoxing regularly on one hand, and then getting rid of environmental toxins. They kind of go hand in hand because if you have a sluggish detox system with Hashimoto's, then the environmental toxins that are already there are going to impact you. If they're not getting out fast enough, then girl, you got a recipe for disaster. Some of the things that I've done to lessen my toxic load are doing things like using glass Tupperware instead of like the plastic ones, or looking at the EWG app and looking up my household cleaning products and beauty products to see if they're toxic or not, and choosing products with a lower toxic burden. Another one is drinking filtered drinking water out of glass containers and glass bottles, or reverse osmosis water. What else do I do? Oh, using a shower filter and a sink filter to just protect yourself from the water. Because fluoride is another issue that's in a lot of our water. So if you have Hashimoto's, I guess fluoride is actually it was used as a thyroid suppressant medication way back in the day. So I guess it could kind of suppress your thyroid, which is no bueno if it's already kind of being suppressed by yourself. And then detoxing regularly, that means like if there's a sauna in a gym, I'm gonna use it. If I can shower and put my red light on and let my body just detox that way, I'm gonna do it. If I'm on Groupon and there's a lymphatic drainage massage sale, I'm gonna buy it. If my doctor is selling motility activator supplements, I'm gonna take it every single night and I'm going to enjoy it. Because the thing about toxins in your environment is that it actually poisons you slowly. If you have one autoimmune disease, it's easier to get another. And I'm not down to be on all this different medication. I'm not down to be living with these symptoms. I'm not down for it. It's not cool. Like, this is my body, and I don't want my body creating antibodies to attack my important body parts. No, like, we are not allowing that. No, no, no. I just wrote down some bonus tips that will probably help you out. These are some things that helped me feel a lot better. Getting vitamin injections, like once a week, getting a vitamin injection in your booty. Kind of bougie, but it makes you feel really good. Electrolyte water, red light therapy, water filters, going outdoors and being in nature, being in God's creation, and having a full day to myself. So if there is a flare up, or I'm feeling emotional, or if I'm going through something stressful, like my period is starting or something, then that day, the day before, I try to take the day to myself and just kind of like chill and do whatever I want to do that's going to help replenish my energy. And then the last one I have here is journaling. The cool thing about journaling is that it allows you to be super real, raw, and authentic because you're the only one who's reading it. So you can talk crazy, you can talk smack in your journal, and as you read it, and if you write and then you read it, sometimes it helps you like work through issues that you've been struggling with in your mind, or challenges or relational issues. And for that reason, I created the Me Date Diary. Me Date Diary is basically the journal that helped me through this entire year of working with Hashimoto's. It's not just for Hashimoto's, but really like these 20 journal prompts that I included helped me go from how I was before, like anxious, depressed, not really sure what I wanted, or not very confident and sickly, to then now where I am today, being able to build a 6-figure business, have the time freedom and the location freedom to film videos like this for you guys on YouTube, and even having a pretty fulfilling relationship with my parents and my siblings and friends. Anxious girl to a more fulfilled, like luscious, like juicy woman. If you're interested in that, it will be linked down below in the description box, the Me Date Diary. It's amazebeans. Go check it out. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you're newly diagnosed with Hashimoto's, just know that the world isn't over. You do have options, and you can help improve your symptoms and send it into remission with lifestyle and diet changes. I highly recommend checking out the resources in the description box down below. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and let me know what other videos you guys would like to see. But until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace. P.S. Now that you have Hashimoto's, you are forced to age gracefully. You're one of the blessed few. Yes.